I'm not sitting for, so I go, what are you doing here? Are you allowed here? And we go, consensus that. You know, like, so I don't think
you just read it.
Make some noise!
Palestine! Free, free! 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 Palestine! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! Shut Elbit down! 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 Stop arming Israel! Stop arming Israel! Stop killing children! Stop killing children! Stop arming Israel! Stop arming Israel! Stop killing children! Stop killing children! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Viva, viva! Palestina! Viva, viva! Palestina! Viva, viva! Palestina! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Free, free! Palestine! 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 Shut Elbit down! 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 Shut Elbit down!
Banner, please. You guys up there, get down the banner for us.
That banner!
That banner there.
No, this banner here. This one. This banner here.
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Palestine! Palestine! Palestine! Free, free! 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 Palestine! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! Shut Elbit down! Shut Elbit down! Shut Elbit down! Shut Elbit down!
is so important about the fact that we are bringing the pictures of the children here to the Elbit Ferranti Weapons Company here in Oldham on Green Acres Road, is that not everybody quite understands what it is that these weapons are doing. And if they are hearing statistics, they're hearing hundreds, they're hearing injuries, they're hearing a lot of very sanitised language about actually where is the end footprint of the weapons that this company is building and profiting from. Now, I think this is important for everybody to see up close the pictures of the children that were killed by Israeli bombs, of which the majority are made by Elbit, this company here, the largest Israeli weapons company. They are the largest company. They have people selling their weapons saying they are field tested, whether it's on Gaza or on the rest of Palestine, or even having sold them to India to use against the Kashmiris, or having sold them, for example, to Burma and the military junta there. Many around the world are buying weapons based on this company, testing them on a population in Gaza that's 2 million, and that is mostly children. Now you have to ask yourself, what kind of industry is built and profits on the murder of these children here? And it's not just these. It is a shame, and you have to ask yourself, some of these people are skilled engineers. In fact, most of them are. There's this big myth that this provides an ocean of employment for the area. No, there's a lot of engineers that come in from out of town. Ferranti used to employ about 1,500 people in the 80s and 70s. There's hardly even 100 now who are in there, and most of them are from out of town, highly skilled engineers. Now, what on earth is a highly skilled engineer contributing towards a company that thrives on the mass murder of these children here? 85% of the drones that are built by Israel are built by this company. And they are testing them on most of the people killed by Israel are killed by drones in Gaza. I was there in Gaza during the bombings, and one reason why I think it's so important that we bring the pictures of the dead, the pictures of the children, closely to the eyes, ideally, of the world, that they know what I saw in the hospitals, as those kids were coming one by one when they bombed Gaza in 2012, because I was there in the hospitals, and I was seeing these kids rolled around the intensive care unit, and I was seeing them dragged out of the rubble. I was there. This is my witness testimony. I know what I saw, and this is the lightest of Israel's bombings that killed 170 people in 8 days, and 32 children in 8 days. That was in 2012, November, when I was there in Gaza. I was a teacher at the university there, and I lost 2 of my students that were killed during the bombing of 2014, a few years after I got back here. One of them, her name was Huda, she was killed with her 2 little babies, and her mother-in-law and her husband with one bomb from a drone. So you ask yourself, I lost my student and her entire family and her 2 little babies directly from the bombs that are most likely made by this company, Elbit Systems. And this is the only site of Elbit Systems in the north of England. We have to not let these faces go and disappear into the darkness. We have to make sure that their lives and their futures that have been lost, that are gone, that their parents are screaming and crying over every single morning, and their parents grieve like our parents grieve. Their children play like our children play. Their children have ambitions for the future like our children have ambitions for the future and dreams. And yet look what happened. This is just the last bombing. The last bombing was 66 children killed in 10 days. What did they do? What did they do? Nothing. And we look at them there. And I hope that the world can see the humanity in those children and see the loss. Because it's that which is the disconnect. And we are making the connect today. We are coming to this weapons company that is making money off the death of so many. And no profit, bottom line, should depend on the more and more carnage and destruction and murder that takes place, especially of these children here. It isn't just children, it's also mothers, it's also fathers, it's also brothers, it's also sisters, it's also grandparents. None of them should be in any way held under these bombs like an open-air prison, and Gaza is an open-air prison. You wander around in Gaza for a few minutes and you see F-16s and drones dotted around the sky. You wander in Gaza for a few minutes near the border areas, you see these snipers and jeeps coming to the border, shooting at farmers, shooting at school children. That's the side that they're sharing with Israel. And then you go on the other side, you see the sea, and most kids would look out at the sea and see dreams. These kids, I'm sure, were playing at the sea at one point in Gaza. But when they look out, they see gunships dotted along the horizon, chasing after the fishermen, destroying the fishing industry. 3 miles out, so they can't get the best fish. That's the reality for these kids. That's what they grew up with. And now look look what happened to them even with that life. They're chosen to live in an open-air prison. They had, if that child was 12, they had 4 mass assaults by Israel. 4, killing 1,400 in 22 days in 2008-9. 300 children. 2012, when I was there, they killed 170 in 8 days. 32 children. 2014, they killed 2,200 people in 51 days. 500 children in 51 days. And then just recently here, we have the latest bombing where the whole world finally has reacted. And I commend you, everybody here, for coming down again and standing here. Give everybody who has decided, I am not going to turn my backs anymore, give everybody here a round of applause. And believe me, I am in touch every day with the students in Gaza and my ex-students and lots of other people. And when they see this, they get hope. They have more hope than ever now. Why? Because they're seeing more of this. So it depends on us. It depends on us. We can do it. That is empowering. That gives us active agency. We can do something about it. In Derry, Israel bombed Lebanon in 2006. And in Derry, in Ireland, they decided to occupy the arms factory and they closed it. And there was a massive outpouring of community action since then afterwards. And in a few years' time, this American arms company, Raytheon, that was profiting from Israel's bombing of Lebanon, that killed 300 children and 1,000 people and destroyed much of Beirut and the rest of it during that bombing. And then the response from the community mass movement. It was petitions, it was councillors, it was MPs, it was occupation, it was protest, and eventually Raytheon had to move out of Derry. That arms factory, that huge company decided we are no longer able to be a viable company anymore. And quite right, because what kind of company can call itself viable when they're actually profiting from the rivers of blood that's running through Gaza every few years from Israeli bombing? Not to mention the fact, why should we be here? Should we be here? Because when they march, they can get shot in Gaza. Did you see how many were shot during the Great Return March of 2018-19? They marched. Every Friday they marched. And yet the kids were running and marching and running with their flags, knowing that this could be the last day for them. 250 protesters shot and killed. 250 for marching. On their own land in Gaza. For marching. 6,000 were shot with live ammunition. How many have you seen now with amputees? There's about 100 amputees, young boys who at least have football, at least have sport. And they get shot in the leg, and quite often they get shot in the higher leg, so they have to be amputated. That is a tactic by the Israeli army. This is for protesting. So look at us here. Fantastic bunch of people here. And that's why we have to keep coming back. And we shall give a big cheer for all the young people that are never ever going to turn their backs on Palestine here now. Israeli media said when they were doing this, and I hope everybody looks at the maps that are on display over there, you can see that Israel has gradually been ethnically cleansing Palestine. It's not just about Gaza. Palestinians in Gaza, you ask them where they're from, they'll tell you a village that has already been turned to rubble, that has been demolished. Because Israel was created by demolishing 531 Palestinian villages, emptying 11 urban neighbourhoods. So they'll tell you a village that's been destroyed in 1948. And they've been gradually trying to sweep the rest of Palestine out. Please look at the maps, it's very important. Not there? Have a look online. This is the crucial side of it. Gaza is mostly refugees. They're mostly Palestinians that have been forced from their homes. Ask any Palestinian where their grandparents are from, and they'll tell you that they're originally from a place that they can't return to. And that is really important. And this is what's happening. It's an ethnic cleansing right in front of our eyes. It's slow motion right now, but it's happening. Where is it happening? Silwan, the latest villages where 800 residents could be forced from their homes. We have to act to make sure they can stay in their houses. The same in Sheikh Jarrah. Israel is about to empty Sheikh Jarrah of their citizenry. Why? Because they're born Palestinian. Aren't we supposed to act when people are forced out of their homes or discriminated against because of who they are born as? Who they are born as? These kids are dead because of who they are born as. Are we not going to end that whole idea? Didn't apartheid South Africa, wasn't the whole idea that we take action when people are born a certain way and they are killed or attacked or discriminated for it? We said no more apartheid in South Africa, we say no more apartheid here, and we continue to take action. Free, free! Free, free! Palestine! 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 Shut Elbit down! 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 Elbit out of order! 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 I'd really like it if there was any young people that would like to say a few words that have come today. They've been the light of this whole movement since the bombing in the last few weeks. And when the Ben Gurion said that, or the Moshidian said that the old will die and the young will forget about Palestine, well, aren't the young people proving that the young are never going to forget? That was the plan. Well, this plan looks like it's been foiled by the next generation here in the UK and around the world, and it will be you who frees Palestine. Yeah, of course. What's your name? Adam. Adam, right. Can we hear from Adam?
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
I'm not that Hello. I just want to say a big thank you to, we don't mention it, I've been coming here since we started. There's a lot of mothers and sisters that come here, and we have to show them a lot of respect. Some of them are old, and some of them have children, especially us males. We should be ashamed. There's a lot of mothers and sisters here, and daughters, should I say. So, all the males, give a big round of applause to the females. I've been Palestine myself, but I'm going to say one thing. Them people in Palestine, they are the lions of Islam, I am telling you. They are fighting for a big reason. And the other thing is, them people, they do not want anything, I'll tell you. Because I've been there, they told me. They go, when you go back, tell your people to just come and visit us. That's all we want, and we just want you to pray for us. Yeah? So may Allah make it easy for all them people. We've got it easy here. I'm being honest, we've got it easy. Some of us, we might not be rich, but at least we're still living a, comfortable life, should I say, yeah? So, let's all make dua for them people. Believe me, we have to make dua for them. Yeah, that's all they want. And Allah Ta'ala listens to anybody. Don't think, we all sinners, no one's perfect. But just keep making dua for them, yeah?
Inshallah.
I just want to say also, a big important, especially one in a minute as well, definitely, we've got some wonderful volunteers here. That is even more the future generation right there. I wanted to thank, can we give a big round of applause? On Saturday we had thousands out in the middle of the world. Who was there on Saturday? Wasn't that sensational?
Yes!
And it was a huge turnout, and I wanted to give, can we give United for Palestine, who are also here today, and a lot of them are dressed in the United Palestine colours, a big round of applause for the work they put in. And also, we have the group that has been forging these demonstrations and starting in many ways a lot of the mobilisations here at Elbit for Anti. We've got some of the women on the front of the banner there, and give a big round of applause to OLDHAM Peace and Justice. And and it's growing. Every week we have huge numbers here. Every week we have new faces here. If you do want to, please give your either email to people that are organising here during or after, or your WhatsApp. Obviously we want everybody to be connected. Sadly, one of the reasons why Israel has managed to get away with so much murder over these decades is because they are continuously trying to make sure the comms is 100%. Now, we get loads and loads more people without having our comms 100%. So imagine what we could do if we're all getting in touch with our friends and all passing the message on straight away and all sharing the event to everybody we can and having a bit more courage to invite somebody you might not think is interested. All that is where we have to stick our necks out and stick our chests out and push a little harder. We have to be brave. Again, if they're marching towards the bullets, is it so hard for us to approach a mosque or approach a family member or approach somebody in the street? And just approach them, and because everybody has common humanity, there is more empathy than we think. We're told that it's every person for himself. It's not. But it's actually, in many ways, people do care, and when people see these child's faces and they think of their own children, everybody has children, everybody knows the relationship of a parent to a child or a brother or sister to a child. And so they can connect, people can connect. And the streets in Manchester, for example, we've been mobilising for about 10, 15 years at least, many more years actually, but a lot lately, and the streets have changed. People are starting to get it. So if everybody is starting to make a shift, there's a big chance here, there's a big chance. I've met Palestinians who thought that there was never a chance they could go home. They're stuck here, Israel won't let them back in, because Israel blocks all the borders for Palestinians to return home. And now they're starting to believe. Palestinians are starting to believe. One day they'll be going home, they'll be going to Al-Quds, they'll be going to Al-Aqsa, they'll be going to Gaza, they'll be going to Ramallah. They are starting to believe that they will be able to go home one day, and wouldn't that be one of the most monumental, beautiful things that we could imagine, right? And if we work hard, I can see it happening. I can see it happening. So can we have, we've got another young member, but please, it would be lovely if some of the younger members could come and speak, because like I said, it is you that are going to win it for Palestine. Please, if you've got something to say, it'd be wonderful to hear from you. But who's this? What's your name? Mohammed. Can everyone give Mohammed a round? Big man as well.
Palestine! Occupation no more! Israel is a terrorist state!
It's a debate about I know some people in the past because of Jim and his turns up.
1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! Viva, viva! Palestina! Viva, viva! Palestina! Viva, viva! Palestina! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Shut Elbit down! 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 Shut Elbit down!
I'd just like to say boycott the chocolates, hampers, stuff like that, inshallah.
Drinks.
And drinks of that Coca-Cola, that's the main
McDonald's.
one. That's the main one, inshallah. Look at your arms. And then, inshallah, I'm going to look at your arms and then boycott Israel. They have some in the Tesco sales, but you just look at 762, I think it's the barcode. Inshallah, we've got to boycott them until the end of life, inshallah. Make that promise, inshallah. Boycott Israel, boycott Israel. Let the Palestinians have a nice time, inshallah.
Palestine! Free! Palestine! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state! To the river, to the sea! Palestine will be free! Free! Palestine! Free! Palestine! Viva, viva! Palestine! messages on what they're actually doing as well. We know that they supply 85% to Israel, but we need to know what they're doing, what are they providing, and how we can help. Yeah, we're coming to the march. Great. We need to keep coming. You need to keep telling your families, share the messages. We post on Instagram. They have a page, we have a page, everyone has a page. We need to share and make it aware to everyone in Oldham especially. It's right here on your doorstep. I'm from Halifax. I've been here 4 weeks with my brothers, my sisters. We need you guys, especially from Oldham, to tell your uncles, your aunties, your cousins, everyone. Pakistanis have a lot of family. We constantly say we don't. So we need to share the message. And inshallah, next week I want to see triple the numbers here. We need more voices and we need more people. Thank you guys. Shut Elbit down! 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 Shut Elbit down!
Just a quick announcement. Africa for Palestine are holding an emergency meeting in the United Nations. Namibia and South Africa in the United Nations at this moment discussing Palestine, working with Palestine. This is international. This is the moment. I was there as a young man when apartheid in South Africa fell. And now the tipping point has reached here. It's happening now. Go online, the Hasbara are all over this because they've suffered a major defeat. This is the moment. We are winning. Red terrain. Who else?
Come on, stop being shy.
Can you say again, please?
Here, come here. Come bring it here. No.
My name is Sia, no fear. I hope the loud, the sound is clear. My name is Sia, no fear, speak clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I'm just saying that at the moment Africa for Palestine, which involves Palestinian groups plus South Africa and Namibia, their ambassadors to the United Nations, are convening a meeting to go forward against this apartheid in Palestine. It's going on at the second at the United Nations. The ambassador to South Africa has been withdrawn from Israel, and Manda Mandela, Madiba's grandson, assured me he will not be going back. There is now a campaign in South Africa to throw out the Israeli ambassador altogether. There are demonstrations across Cape Town now. Now, as I said before, they have suffered a major defeat. The Hasbara are out there. They are paid, they are organised. And they are out there on the internet. I spend about 2 hours a day on the internet just confronting these people on feeds of The Guardian, The Independent and Facebook. If you get the time, please get out there and help. Okay, so this is the moment. This is the moment we've been waiting for. This is the chance of a lifetime. I see the tipping point just like I saw the tipping point with the filth in South Africa. This is our moment. We can win with you. Red terrain.
Right, once upon a time Palestine was a state, yeah? We all know that it was a state. It was the Balfour Declaration 1917 that put it in a mess. And they put it in a mess and they gave them liberation to Israel in 1948. Right? People didn't have a voice. Palestinian people had an army, had a country, had a state. Imagine they had their own airwaves, they had their own planes, they had their own airport, they had their own staff, they had their own money. All this stuff has been diminished. Now you coming out here will make this come back. History will repeat itself and peace will prosper through the land. And our voice will reach them loud and clear. Let's make it one more time, everyone. Shut down! Elbit! Shut down! Elbit! Shut down! Elbit! Why do we want to shut it down? Elbit!
Elbit out of Oldham!
Elbit out of Oldham!
Elbit out of Oldham!
Elbit out of Oldham! Elbit out!
Elbit out!
Everybody say Oldham!
Elbit
Elbit out!
Oldham!
Elbit out!
Oldham!
Elbit out!
Oldham!
Elbit out!
Oldham!
Out of Oldham!
Out of Oldham!
Look at these innocent children here.
Shut down Elbit!
So many here. And so many children here. You want to hear the sound of what an explosive sounds like? I'm trying to find something on before, give me a moment.
Shut down Elbit!
Shut down Elbit!
Shut down Elbit!
Shut down Elbit! Shut down Elbit! Palestine! Palestine!
Shut Elbit down!
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 Elbit out of Oldham!
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 Stop arming Israel!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop killing children!
Stop killing children!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop killing children!
Stop killing children!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop killing children!
Stop killing children!
Build up! نبتدي أقصى! build up! 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 build up! نبتدي أقصى! Free Palestine! Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
build up! build up! نبتدي أقصى! build up! Occupation no more! Israel is a terrorist state! Occupation no more! Israel is a terrorist state! Palestine!
Everybody see, by the way, there's a Palestinian flag in the window.
Remember as well.
Yeah, can you see her there on that comment?
Everybody needs to know that it's only, this is the Elbit ground. We never ever want any issues. They've got their own business to run. They've been treating us very kindly. Now we just need to plant the new flag in the
Cairo
window.
House. Please everyone, focus with Cairo House. This is where all the disappointment is taking place from. These lot are creating bombs and selling them under the radar and giving it to the Israelis under our nose, and they think they're contributing to our community and society. Absolutely not. They're killing babies, they're dropping bombs on people, right? Created precisely to take people out and never give them a chance to get back on their feet. That's not right, is it? This can't happen. This is going to be a revolution, and this is going to go around the world. People around the world certainly know from the stories now of these lot are making a mess of the Palestinians.
Does he have kids of his own?
Hey, calm down for a second, man. Components for anyone. Three main components for anyone to make a real change. The first one, I'm going to teach gender and I'm going to fit onto this declaration. This free Palestine situation. First one is working hard. Second one is working smart, and third one is staying consistent. Now this is the working hard bit. This is up to us. It's up to you. It's up to us. We have the energy, we have the passion, we have the drive. We have to keep working as hard as we possibly can. Okay? Second one is working smart. Who has the experience here? People like 80. Now older than myself. People like 80 that have the experience, and it is. We have to learn from them. We have to learn. We have to take all the experience. We have to know what to do, what not to do, because they've been through it before. We need to know what they did wrong, what they did right, so we can adopt this into our hard work, so we can take this experience and move forward with it. And the third one is consistency, and I want you guys to listen carefully to this one. Greta Thunberg, for months, she stood on the road with a sign by herself. By herself. And if you look at her now, she's a global phenomenon. All the change she made is because for months, by herself, she didn't care about all the people, she didn't care about thousands of soldiers. She was on herself for months, with one side. And because she stayed consistent, because she kept moving forward no matter who said what, who did what, now she a massive change. Now she's the global phenomenon. So we have to do three things. Keep pushing with all the energy and all the passion of the youth. Learn from our oldest and stay consistent no matter what. Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! And of course, as well, for the older people, let's learn from the young ones because they're driving this campaign and they're gay. They've got the courage, they've got the instinct to just go for it wherever they see injustice, and they've got the energy. So together, united, we can actually really make a big difference. What I want to do, everybody, is we finished with the procession, but we are going to be quiet with the procession because it is carrying the coffins of the children that have fallen in Gaza. What we've suggested is that the children here, if it's okay with their parents and okay with them, to carry the coffins at the front, because it is children, and it is important that we connect that children here are the same as children there, and believe me, it is exactly the same, as we can imagine from my experience in Gaza. So can we all gradually, we've got the banners as well, yeah, definitely. Let's start to come across, please, in the row. People carrying the banner, other people holding the coffin. So should we just start? We'll finish on the procession up to the top gate. So could people, please, the children, would you be okay to hold one of the children's coffins with the picture on the front? You go there and grab it, and just we come back and wait until we're all together, if that's all right. Yeah, we'll just slowly.
A little one.
So what I wanted is,
you know, come on this left side.
Which class are you in? 7.1? 72.
You lot, come on here. Come on this side, please. What's up with you? You're sir. Come on. Come on, brothers, over this side.
So we're all, the children can hold one each, and we'll all go behind. And we're just going to march up.
Ramzan, get a picture with everyone in there.
Rahim.
Over here.
Come on up, please.
So the children come to the middle here, we all get behind them.
Can you come here? Can you move down? Kids over there.
You want them to get a picture here first with them all, please?
Well, what we'll do is we'll get him. Oh, I see in front. Yeah, why not in front of the car?
Here I have first. Okay, good thinking. Sorry, yeah.
So go here first. That's right. Could the children just first hold them here? That's a good idea. So, just hold it, face forward. Stay where you are, if that's all right. Yeah. So the older ones I know. And then you hold it above their head, so that the middle, well, above their head, and have the middle of your head. It's good to see you. That's good. So hold it towards the cameras, everybody, if that's all right.
You can also sit down.
Yeah.
Just one.
Sorry, let's get out of the way just for one photo, and then. But what I was thinking is, the smallest at the front. Could you just step back a little bit? Yeah, no, it's okay. And then would you step forward, and would you come into the middle a little bit? Step that way. Go there. Yeah. Well done. Well done. And then no, put it side a little bit there. On the edge there.
Right, that's just let the guys do the photo.
Everybody look here. Everybody say.
Kids, say free, free Palestine, free,
Free.
free, free Palestine, free, free Palestine, Palestine,
Palestine! 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 Palestine!
Palestine,
Palestine!
Palestine,
Palestine! Palestine!
Palestine,
Palestine! 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 Palestine!
Palestine! Palestine! Palestine!
Right, now what we want to do is, can the children gradually step into the middle at the front of the procession? So the children just go, follow that gentleman there and into the middle, and we're going to get behind the children.
Stand the line, you got some behind them. Come in, 5 minutes.
Right at the front of the children, if that's alright. And then we're going to slowly, not move off yet, wait a second, get them at the front, and then we'll wait a moment. Wait a moment, stop there.
Stand here. Camera to go. 1 second. Stop. Woman, catch me. You go forward.
Go there.
Spread out. Stop.
Can we have some banner?
Excuse me, mate.
Please?
Can I just ask you to move to the side, please?
Remember to keep it facing forward.
Premier, yeah.
Try and get the picture up a bit because the kid that's there, yeah. That's it. Oh, is she okay? Wait a moment, we won't be long. I'm going to start the procession in about 2 to 3 minutes, okay?
One second.
Hold that one there. About testing on Palestinians.
Shut down! Shut down! Shut down! We'll be back next Tuesday, inshallah, everyone. I hope everybody has a good evening today and onwards. Tell a friend next week if they can join us to turn up. It's going to be a regular thing, and day by day we're going to put the pressure on. So the more people you better turn up, you know, bring some water and things with you. Might spend more longer time here, and eventually we'll get these lot shut down. And that's what we want. We want them out of town. This is Oldham. Every pound counts. We don't want them making money on killing Palestinians for no other reason under our nose. So now you know.
Right, just want to say I'm glad we've got the yellow one off, because it is the most crucial point. That it's those children at the front and the families and the mothers and fathers and Elbit weapons tested on Palestinians. They're developing their weapons as a result of the human laboratory that is the Gaza Strip. And we're going to look back on that with shame. when we imagined that that actually was allowed to happen. And this is why, when governments do nothing, it's about us, it's about the people. And with us en masse, we can do it. Now what we're going to do, there's a lot of people living in the houses up there, they've got their lives to lead. We have done a lot of noise up there in the past. We don't need to today, because it's a procession and we're thinking of these families, okay? We are marching in silence today. We're going to march with the kids and the coffins. We're not going to make a noise as we march up there. We're going to think of those families, okay? Because it is about those families. It's about that population that is still under siege, still under occupation, still with people being in prison, still with Silwan and Sheikh Jarrah villages about to be forced out, still imprisoning so many people of those neighbourhoods and beyond. So nothing has stopped because the bombs have stopped. We're going to keep going. So everybody, are we all okay? The children are leading, okay? And we're going to march in silence. We're going to stand outside the front gate in silence, have a few photos, and then we are going to finish. We are going to contemplate a little bit today about all the many victims, and sadly the victims that this company is making its money from. So everybody, we're going to set off now, and we're going to march quietly, slowly and quietly, and then we'll stand outside the gate. Okay, and then we'll finish for today, but of course we'll be back next week. Is that right? Yeah! Well done everybody. Please come to me and come to the other organisers and other people with your contact details, emails. Everybody always needs to know and to pass on about these events. We cannot turn our back on so many children being killed all the time. We cannot turn our back on the Palestinians. So we'll set off now, slowly but surely, if that's okay with everybody. The kids, you lead first, marching slowly. Slowly.
People, this happens real in Palestine. Every day, people in Palestine have to go bury their loved ones. So, you see this picture?
Slow down a bit. That's it.
Oh, top gate.
Slowly. Come back a bit.
I'm stopping.
So this is 1, 2. The factory's right behind there. If you want to just face a little bit, well, wait, keep facing there. Just everybody look this way, and we'll have the factory in the background. Children, could you come forward a little bit on the right there? Just this lot. No, not you. You come back now. That's if we put the picture down a little bit. Put it down so you can see. Don't worry, that's it. Well done, you're doing really well. Now if you just step back a bit so you're in the photo with your friends. Come this way. Yeah. A little bit. Well done. And then a bit more, and then turn around. Well done. Well done.
Time to round up.
I think on this note, we are going to keep it quiet, but what we are going to do is we're going to give a big round of applause at the end of today. We're going to hope everyone comes next week and keep spreading the word. We've done really well today, and this has been really important to think of the Palestinians. We don't always think hard enough about what they're going through. So I want a big round of applause for both these children and the children in Gaza. This Saturday, there's a demonstration in Piccadilly where we're going to march through and hold the banks to account. We did actually have a campaign on HSBC, and they had to stop their investments in Elbit because of our pressure. So we won that. We can win. We can win there. We can win again. That's on Saturday, 12 o'clock, Piccadilly Gardens. And on the 14th is the it's in Parliament, right? Why can't I just tell them quickly on the 14th?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. So there was a petition that got over 100,000 signatures. So that means it has to be debated in Parliament. So on the Monday coming up, it's going to be debated in Parliament. So it will show us who stands with Palestine and who doesn't. It also will tell us who pretends to support Palestine, but when it really comes to the walking the walk, they hide away. So make sure you ring your MPs and make sure they turn up and debate about that. Thank you.
And of course it doesn't stop here. We're going to go home, we're going to share all this everywhere, we're going to make the effort to share the photos, share the videos. We're going to keep pushing our councillors and MPs. You all know who they are, I think, or you can get to know who they are. We have to just follow them up. They'll do it eventually. They already budged. Even, you know, Debbie Abrahams budged just after the great effort of thousands of people in Oldham Parliament Square. She made a move and spoke out about the weapons. So you see how it's a chain. This is how it works, okay? People do change, and eventually Palestine will be free. So give everybody here a big round of applause and share everything, and we'll come back. Well done, everybody.